Hello everyone and welcome to All Things Watched. In this video we are going to talk about the brand new movie As We Know It, and this movie comes in as is under the genre of comedy, horror, and romance, and is kind of funny because I found that after watching this movie, which I think was roughly an hour and 20 minutes, like without credits, it was only a short movie, but I never really found this movie horrific, romantic, or funny for that matter, and I really felt like this was 84 minutes of my life that I'm just simply not going to get back. Now, this movie mainly starred Taylor Blackwell, Mike Castle, and Oliver Cooper. Now, there were a couple little cameos in there too from actors such as Pam Grier and, of course, Chris Parnell. But like I said, those roles were so small that they were pretty well irrelevant in the movie. And so, what this movie revolves around is basically sort of a love triangle, or at the very least, a love interest between Mike's character and Taylor's character. And actually, at the beginning of the movie, basically they have broken up right from the very beginning, and they're already broke up at the beginning of the movie. And so we learned that there is a zombie breakout, there is a zombie apocalypse, and also this movie is taking place, I believe they said, in the 90s, or roughly around the 90s or something like that, or like early 2000s. And so there's this crazy zombie outbreak, and they say in the movie that it was caused by like some name brand of soy milk or something silly like that, and all that stuff. And when I was watching the movie for the first probably 15 or 20 minutes of the movie, I was actually found the movie quite promising. I thought, okay, well, this could be something. Like, sure, you could tell it was very low budget, and the special effects and practical effects, especially like when there's a zombie eating somebody, sure, you could tell it was a little low budget. It wasn't anything special, it wasn't great, but it was still watchable, it was manageable, for me at least. And so I found it pretty promising. And the first time you see, Oliver Cooper's character on screen with Mike's character, at first at least, I found their dynamic and their chemistry to be quite compelling, and I thought they did a really good job playing off of each other, given the fact that they were best friends. And so Mike's character had just went through a separation, and so Oliver and his character is basically Mike's best friend, and he's here trying to sort of help him while at the same time make him wake up and realize that there is a zombie apocalypse going on. So Taylor, of course, portrays Mike's ex-girlfriend and whatnot, and of course, as the movie goes on, you learn that there's a history between Taylor's character and Oliver's character as well, and so it becomes almost like this love triangle, and all that kind of stuff. And really, it mainly focuses on that, really, and not really so much on the horror or the zombie apocalypse. I would say that this is a romantic movie that takes place in a neighborhood where there's like one or two zombies. Literally, there's probably like two zombies in the whole movie, and that's about it. And the entire movie takes place in one setting inside of James's inside of his home, or inside of his house. And literally the movie doesn't really go anywhere beyond that. And so I kept hoping that something was going to happen. I kept hoping that they would move past this sort of nonsense of this breakup and whatnot, and this sort of love triangle. And I kept waiting for them to have to venture out of the city, or go somewhere, or go to a new location for safety purposes. There's a couple parts of the movie when some of the characters are really at high risk and whatnot, and I was always waiting for something to happen, but it never really does. And I kept waiting for I was even waiting for something just as simple as the setting to change, but it never ever does. And so what I found myself where I found myself at the end of this movie was from the point A to point C, the Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3, there was literally no development whatsoever at all with the characters, the story, or even just the movie in general. There was no development, there was no progress. Where the movie ends is literally where the movie started, and to me it was a whole lot of nonsense. The comedy didn't work, the horror was pretty well non-existent, and the romantic side wasn't even compelling. It wasn't even an interesting love story. It was just a bunch of people, just these three people basically sitting around the house and sobbing over their own lives, basically. And so for me, I felt like this movie was a big waste of time, and definitely a failure. So that's my review for As We Know It. This is a shorter review, but I literally don't even know what to say. It was that bad of a movie, and that's pretty well all I got. So let me know in the comment section below if you've seen As We Know It, and if you liked it, tell me why or why not. If you like this video, click the subscribe button, and until the next one, take care.